Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. Happy Wednesday. I always get to my desk about 9:45 and I make sure I have everything ready and then I start checking emails and going down rabbit holes and I'm looking into a weekend retreat with horses here in Florida and I was watching all the testimonials. I'm like, "Oh crap, it's 10:05. I'm never late." So, pardon my tardiness. That is not my normal routine. But I got sucked in by the horses. It looks amazing. Um, I'm 99% positive I'm going to do it. There's just 1% of me that's digging for more details. And I know that's the control freak in me, which is exactly why I need to go to this weekend retreat. So today's topic is the famous 7-year itch. Now, the term 7-year itch started with a movie with Marilyn Monroe, and it was based on the marital 7-year itch. That point in a relationship where you kind of get settled in and comfortable, you start to take each other for granted. One person always feels like they're not getting what they need, and they start to look outside the marriage for attention from other men, women, whether it's the husband or the wife. So this 7-year itch I'm referring to is in life, in relationships, and in your career, especially. So for me, I've had many patterns of the 7-year itch. And when I thought about what I wanted to talk about this week, I'm in it right now. I'm very itchy. The itch is a little bit early this time. It's not 7 years. I was doing the math. So probably more like 5.5, almost 6 years, I'm starting to get the itch. So the itches are coming sooner than they used to. And I think there's two reasons for that. One being that I don't sit in my itch as long as I used to. I make changes because I don't like that itch. I don't like that discomfort feeling. And it's not a discomfort of, nothing good happens in your comfort zone. It's not that kind of discomfort. The longer you ignore that stir in your soul that you need to do something different, the more unhappy you become. And then when you go to make the change, it's harder for you to do because you're more stuck in whatever it is you were itching to get out of. Hey, Julie. So I'll start with mine. So I was in high school. I hated math. I was a great student. I was, first honors, goody two shoes, following all the rules. And I went to Catholic school and all of the nuns were pushing for me to do chemistry and high level math, algebra, geometry, all the things, and calculus. I hated math. So I was like, I'm in high school when you not showing on Facebook. You guys are on Facebook, right? Donna, Franca, Mary, you're seeing me on Facebook, right? Tracy said it's not showing on Facebook. I think maybe you saw that I was late, Tracy. That's what happened. So high school, as soon as they gave me a choice, I was like, hell to the no, I am not taking any more math. So I had this soul stirring desire to be a hairdresser. And it was very conflicting because the world told me that I was smart and that college was the absolute next step. And I didn't even take my SATs. I didn't even go through the motions of going to college. And the crazy part is college was free. My mom worked at the college. So I could have gone to all 4 years completely free. All I would have had to pay for is textbooks. So that hurt for my parents, I'm sure, that my mom was working at this very low paying job that she loved. She loved the job, but it didn't pay well. And her justification was, I have 3 kids. If they all go to college here, it's going to be more than the difference of my crappy salary. Well, my sister got a full scholarship to Temple University, so she didn't use it. My brother went for a semester, totally goofed off, went out, drank during the week, didn't do any work, didn't show up for class. He dropped out. And then I became a hairdresser. So my poor mother never got her free tuition. I think my dad took a couple night classes just because it probably drove him crazy that he wasn't using the free tuition. So there's that. And then when I got into hair, very quickly in my first job, I realized that I had already outgrown the space that I was in. It was a very mom and pop neighborhood salon. And I had this burning desire to be an excellent colorist and learn everything I could about color. And the owner of the salon, I talk about it in my book, I talk about it all the time. He had 3 formulas, one for blondes, one for redheads, one for brunettes. And it looked different on everyone because, as you know, from watching me and from doing color, that everybody's hair is going to react differently to a formula because it's what their hair brings to the table. We talk about that every week. So I was like, okay, I need more training. I need to do something. So I got the itch then, and I went to a bigger, more corporate salon that had better training. And then I very quickly, I did not wait 7 years. Within a year and a half, I talked to someone who I looked up to in the salon, and I said, does it get any better here? Am I going to make any more money later down the line? And she was like, honestly, if I could tell you to do anything, it would be get the hell out of here now, because I waited too long and I stayed here because I was scared to leave. And now I can't leave because my whole client base is here. My whole life is here. I'm used to it. I'm married. I have a whole different situation. So I was like, oh, ouch, I need to get out of here. Left there, opened a salon. Never had any intention of hiring any staff. I just wanted to be by myself in my own space. Control freak that I am, I wanted to have control of the temperature, the music, the hours, the sign, the name, all the things, the branding, everything. Control freak. So I did that. I opened in 1989 at 22 years old. So I'm 22. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. I'm screwing up, but I'm learning from the School of Hard Knocks, which I highly recommend over any, institution. Is life will teach you every lesson you need. So I'm doing well, I'm busy, and my hands start to hurt. And I have carpal tunnel on both wrists because I'm opening, I'm answering the phone, I'm washing the towels, I'm sweeping the floor, I'm mopping the floor, I'm taking the appointments, I'm doing everything. I don't have a shampoo girl. I don't have any assistant. I don't have someone to answer my phone. I am everything. So this is what I was brought up to: work hard. That's our culture in our house, is work, work, work until you collapse in bed at night. And if you're not doing enough in the first 8 hours, get a second job for the second 8 hours. That's how my story, my family story is. So I do that. And the doctor says to me, you need surgery on both wrists and you're going to be out of work for several weeks. Make sure you line somebody up to come and work with you so that you have an income while you're down and out. So there's a million reasons why I'm sharing this with you today. One of them being having a plan B financially for the unexpected things that happen. Like have that, 1 year savings, have Aflac insurance. I highly recommend Aflac, especially if you're young and haven't had your children yet, or if you're getting older. There's a plan in Aflac that I have that you are covered if you or someone in your family gets an unfortunate diagnosis and you need to be their caretaker. It will pay you while you're out caretaking for a family member. So while I'm there, since I'm so ADD, I would love to ask for everyone's generosity. If it's $5, if it's $1, if it's giving up a cup of coffee. Our friend and member of my Hair Color Secrets Insider Inner Circle, and he's the coach in the Hair Color Secrets Inner Hair Color Secrets Insider Facebook group, Bart, got an unfortunate diagnosis for his husband with leukemia, and within 2 weeks, he lost his partner. So he was out of work the entire time, going through the testing, the hospital, all the things. Now he's left with huge hospital bills. He's paying his bills in his solo suite while he's not there. So we're raising money for him to help him out with those bills. I will come back. I wasn't prepared to say that, so I don't have a link to have you send the contribution to, but I will absolutely add that in the, hang on. Okay, so I do have his, is that the Zelle or so his Venmo, excuse me, is at Bart Rosenstein. I'm going to type it into the comments. So don't think that there's any amount that's not impactful, because if we all get together and do $5, that makes a big impact on Bart and, the weeks that are coming for him. So let me move on. So the itch, I have this carpal tunnel. And he's like, you need to hire somebody. And I was like, oh, this is exactly what I did not want. I didn't want employees. I didn't want to have to hire an accountant and have all these complicated structures of leadership and a handbook and all of the things. But the universe always has the bigger plan for you than you have for yourself. So I hired my first employee. She had not a clue how to color hair. She was an excellent cutter, amazing haircuts, doing the fades with guy. I was learning a lot from her with cutting, but color, she was a disaster. So poured myself into her, taught her everything I know, and now I get pregnant. So now I've built her up where she's busting at the seams, weightless, the whole bit. And I'm like, shit, I got to hire somebody else. I hire somebody else. I train her, pour everything into her, teach her everything. She gets busy. So now they're both busy and I'm busy. And anytime I need to be out of work, neither of them can help my clients because I made them so busy and so good at what they do that they were overflowing and had nowhere to put it. So I'm like, oh, here we go now. Now I got to hire more people. So I don't want to go on and on about the whole trajectory of it. But the point is, sometimes life takes you down roads that you didn't want to go on, you didn't plan to go on. And sometimes you find yourself somewhere where you're like, this is not what I signed up for. I don't even want this. So, 7 years into me being licensed as a hairstylist, I was doing everything: waxing, updos, makeup, perms, waxing, all of the things. But I really, really loved color. But I wasn't, I think the reason I loved color is because I was so unsure of myself as a cutter. So I'm not an avoider, and I didn't want to keep pretending I was a better cutter than I was. So I remember I had my daughter. She was brand new, a couple weeks old, and all the hormones are raging, all the postpartum. And I'm laying on the couch, and she's on my chest, and I'm reading Modern Salon magazine. And I look up, my husband's on the chair across the room, and I look up and I say, my one regret in life, I was the ripe old age of, I think I was 26 at the time. Yeah, 26. I said, my biggest regret in life is that I didn't go to Vidasa soon and get better at cutting and like take the time before I had a family to really be awesome at doing a haircut and really understand. When I cut, I would just keep picking up hair, cutting into it, and just keep moving things around and be like, oh, this is a little heavy. Let me cut that a little more. I had no system or structure. And it bothered me because I felt like an imposter. I had imposter syndrome when it came to haircuts. I was a disaster and still am at styling hair. I have no business with a round brush and a blow dryer in my hand. I am a disaster. So at 26, with this newborn baby on my chest, my husband makes the mistake of saying, well, can't you just go now? And I'm like, hello, do you see this, 8-pound appendage that's lying on my chest that I just gave birth to? How am I supposed to go away for a week and get into an intensive program at Vidasa Soon in California when I live in Pennsylvania? What the hell? And he's like, I'll take off from work. I'll stay with her. I'll make sure that she's okay. And I was like, you would do that for me? And he's like, I don't want you to have regrets and blame it on me or the fact that you have a family. Well, he didn't know then, because we were very new and newlyweds, that I am a doer and I don't just say that I'm going to do something, I freaking do it. So I, got on the phone because we didn't have computers back then, got on the phone, called Vidasa Soon, and I signed up. And then I went into work, and these two lovely women that I took in as my children and trained them up and taught them everything. I said, do you guys want to come? Because I would love for us to go together. I'll just close the salon and we will all go for the week. And that's what we did. And it was life-changing. My haircut after that week was beyond so much better than it ever was. But what I found out 7 years later is that I really don't enjoy cutting hair. As much as I learned more and I'm better at it, I did not enjoy it as much as it lit me up when I had a big correction in my chair or a big long head of hair that wanted a transformation and highlights, or going from, boring dishwater brown to like fiery, copper red. All of those things excited me when I saw them on the book. So 7 years after getting my license, the itch was, I need more training. I'm going to Vidasa Soon. 7 years after I hired the two new hires that I didn't intend to hire is when I had the unfortunate experience of having what everyone in the salon industry talked about in all of my magazines is called a walkout, when your whole staff just ups and leaves you. So I was delivering my son. My daughter was 4 and I was having my second baby. And I have to back up a little bit. I went to a business seminar with Donald Scolari, who I believe is no longer with us, but he was an excellent trainer with business. And he said, if you are a commission salon owner and you are paying over 50% commission, I promise you, you will be out of business within the next 2 years. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, I'm paying more than 50% commission. So what am I going to do? I don't want to go out of business. I worked too hard for this. So this got in my head, and being young and naive and not understanding business, I went back into the salon and I gathered the troops together. The 3 of us got together and I said, just so you know, your commission is never going up. Where it is right now is where it's staying. And if that's not good enough for you, oh, well, I'm sorry, because I just came from a business seminar. I threw that freaking grenade in that room, not even knowing what I was doing. I was just talking like I always do. And I wanted to share with them, like, don't come and ask me for a raise because that's not good business. What I didn't understand is that I could absolutely give them 1,000,001 raises through price increases, through bonuses, through scale, through having a commission scale. All of those things weren't part of the conversation. So sometimes you go to an event or sometimes you watch something on TikTok or Instagram. Like, there's a business coach that I watch all of her quick Instagram things. And I'm like, this stuff taking out of context is going to blow people's businesses up. Like, you need to know the full thing. And I get that she's trying to get you into her program, but like, if you don't get in the program and you just take that little Instagram piece, you're going to set yourself on fire. So I set myself on fire. So now I am literally feet in the stirrups delivering my son. And I'm doing my thing, and I'm literally having contractions, saying to my husband, payroll's today. I got to do payroll. And he's like, are you kidding me? Like, you're delivering your son. Your feet are in the stirrups. You are in this situation, and all you're worried about is payroll. And when I delivered my son and I went home, the first thing that I saw was a message from the staff saying, are we getting paid today? The day that I gave birth to my son. So that was a very rude awakening. And then a little bird whispered in my ear that not only were they pissed off about not getting paid that day, they were both leaving to go to a salon who the owner of the salon, I don't want to get too far into the story because my blood pressure, I will probably pop a vein and have a stroke, but because it's still a wound. That was a very long time ago. My daughter's 30, my son's 26. So this woman befriended me, came to my salon regularly for hair color, and she owned a nail and skincare business. And she wanted to expand into hair. So her coming to my salon wasn't, you're the greatest colorist, I love you. It was, I want to infiltrate because I hear the buzz in the neighborhood that you're the best at color. And I want your people, basically. So she, while I was in the stirrups, literally that day, she was in the salon asking both of my girls if they would come and work for her, and that whatever I was paying them commission wise, she would give them 5% more. So she gave them a commission. I even if I was asked, my ring will blow. Yes, Carolyn, I don't have it on just in case. So she offered them the moon and the stars. And they didn't come to me and say, like, will you match it? Because I had that hand grenade conversation, a year before, where I said, don't even ask. It's never going up. So I was completely devastated. As you can imagine, I never had maternity with my son. I never got to sit at home and give a new baby what they need. I had to go right back to work. So I think I was home for like 8 days after having him, and I have a 4-year-old. I mean, now you know why I'm crazy. My daughter says it all the time. She's like, I get why you're crazy now. Like, how the hell did you do any of this? So that happens. So I'm taking my kids to Disney several years later. I'm still butthurt. Every time I drive by that salon, I want to throw eggs at it. I want to put graffiti on the side, like all the things that you're thinking of, sending a piece of shit in the mail, like all the things. I'm just like, oh, how could she do that? She took me down. She took my whole the amount of time that I put into training them, I can't even tell you the amount of money and time and nurturing that I put into making them who they were. And then she just offers them more money and they go sliding into her salon and everybody's happy. So I'm going to Disney and I'm sitting in the airport, and who walks into my terminal but Donald Scolari, the man who told me don't give them more than 50% and blew me up, but in the best way. So he says, "How are you?" I said, "Donald, I have to tell you, you're amazing at what you do. I love coming to your seminars, but I pretty much blew myself up and took what you said completely out of context, told my staff they're never going to make more money. And I just had, the biggest walkout in my life. It's, I had 3 employees and 2 left together at the same time. So that was basically a complete total walkout." And he looked at me and he put his hand on my arm and he said, "How long have they been with you? Is it 7 years?" And exactly when they left, exactly when the feet were in the stirrups and this all went down, it was exactly 7 years since they walked through my door and said, "Hi, I'd like a job here." So I was like, "Yeah, exactly 7 years. Why did you say that?" He said, "It's the 7-year itch. It's very common. You're not alone. Every salon owner has had it happen because at the 7-year mark of any relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a business relationship, any relationship, 7 years in, you start to look over the fence. Oh, their grass looks more green. Oh, they have a pool. Oh, I want to go in their yard. Their yard looks way greener and way better. They have flowers in their yard." You start looking around, you start asking people, "Are you happy where you are? What's your salon like? What's your commission like?" This all happens, right? So I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's just like a normal standard thing." He's like, "Absolutely." He's like, "Nothing you could have done could have prevented that. That was not on you. That was, they needed to grow. They needed to get out from under mommy." I was always a mommy leader, which if I did it all over again, that's a whole different subject, which leads me to my ADD bing bong. November 10th, 11th, and 12th, we are doing a totally different type of event. It is not an insider only event. It is for salon owners, especially commission salon owners, because nobody's taking care of them anymore. Everybody's fleeing to go into suites and everybody's left standing holding the bag and the mortgage and all the things. And we're going to target all of the trainers and the education. Everything is going to be around the salon owners. So if you are an owner, especially if it's a commission salon, please, send me an email and get on the wait list for this event because it's going to be amazing. So anyway, where was I? So 7-year itch, nothing you can do. They were going anyway. The salon that they went to, it within 7 years, almost to the day, they left to go open their own salon. So they walked out on her. So they walked out on me within 7 years, went to her 7 years later, walked out on her, devastated her. She's out of business, opened up their own salon. And 7 years later, the partnership split and the 2 of them are in different, across the street from each other, competing with each other. So I'm sharing this with you because every single person has that soul calling, that passion, that burning inside of you that tells you that there's more. I was trying to turn mine off because I love my life right now. I love that I have this online community that I get to meet once or twice a year in person at these in-person retreats. I get to hug and love on them and get pictures taken with them and all of the things. And I'm getting the itch again. And I'm like, "God damn it. I don't want to have the itch right now." So I'm driving my husband crazy. I'm driving my kids crazy. I'm driving the universe and God and everybody else crazy, saying, "What is it? What is this itch now? What's next?" And the first itch, so my book I wrote in 2016, or I should say I published in 2016. So I'm like, oh, 2023 is the 7-year itch for the book. That makes sense. I've been talking about a second book. So this summer, as of now, I plan on, no, Deanna, I'm not breaking up with you. So this summer, I was like, you know what? It's hot as hell in Florida. We treat our summers here the way that we treated our winters in PA. We pretty much hibernate. Like, it's too hot to go to the beach if there is such a thing. It's so stinking humid. The bugs are out in full force. I get bit to death. So air conditioning is cranking. We have solar now, so we don't have to waste energy. And we have a pool. So I'll stay in during the hottest parts of the day, and then I'll go out and swim when it's a little cooler later, and I'll take a walk at night. Like I shift everything in the summer. So my goal is this summer to write my second book. I haven't decided yet, and I'd love your input on that while you're here. Just comment for me. What do you think is more needed in the industry, and what would you be more inclined to be excited about? Would you want a colorful journey continued, where it's all about hair color and things that I've done differently and learned since writing A Colorful Journey behind me? Angie, I promise you, I will be hanging your thing soon. I have not been able to get in touch with my handyman to be able to hang it, but I know you're probably looking for it, and I'm looking for it. So the book would be either all hair color, like Colorful Journey Part 2, all the updates, all the thing. Like I have a whole chapter in A Colorful Journey saying, don't go glazy crazy. Now I'm like, go glazy crazy, because I finally understand how to formulate glazes properly. And I was overtoning everybody in book 1. So there's that, or there's something that has been pulling at me. It's called a colorful journey, Lisa. It's available on Amazon. I'll type it in here. A Colorful Journey by Elaine Travis. It's available on Amazon anytime. And the ebook is on sale from me. You can get the ebook if you're a digital person. I got a message from someone the other day, and they're like, I got your ebook and I printed it out and it's not working out on the pages. I'm like, because you're not supposed to print out an ebook. If you want a book, get a book. If you want an ebook, leave it digital. So anyway, so 7 Year Itch. The other book would be a collaborative book, a colorful collab, something like that, where I have Ian McCabe and Alicia and Christina Russell and myself and, all the colorists that Joe Blackwell, all the colorists that I know and love, contributing each a chapter to a book about all things hair color. That's the other idea. I don't have it in me to do both. So I would love to hear, let's say A is A equals Colorful Journey Part 2. B equals A. I know, Donna, I'm crazy and I probably will write both, but a colorful collaboration chapters from other colorists. So I would love to hear from you on that. Because that's what the itch is. The itch right now is like, I need a new project. I need to do something a little. Oh, I missed another one of the itches. So I have to go back. I'm looking at my notes now. So I jumped ahead as usual. I do that when I teach in person. Like I'm going to be at Premier Orlando, and Bryn's going to have these beautiful slides for me. And then I'm going to just jump way ahead. And then the next slide will show what I talked about 10 minutes ago. And it's a shit show, but somehow you guys like me anyway. So I love you for accepting my ADDness. So they walk out. I'm devastated. I have no maternity. And I'm like, do I even have it in me to rebuild and hire all new people, train them? Of course I did. And I did it again. And then 7 years into that, I was like, wow, I have this whole new staff and they're all amazing at color now. And we're all so busy. We have a wait list and this space is so small. I can't possibly put another hairdresser in it. I know, I'll open a second location. So I do that. I buy a building, I open a second location. Everything's great until it's not. Now I'm divided between 2 locations. Now I'm starting to hate location 1. 7 years, 7 year itch. I'm like, okay, close location 1, keep location 2. 7 years into location 2, I am busting at the seams. I've trained so many people. They're all so busy. Every chair is full that we did split shifting, where we had somebody work from 8:30 to 2 and then 2:30 to 8. We had 2 people sharing a chair. It was madness. It was 1,200 square feet of space, 2 sinks, and we had 15 people working in there. I was reaching that $1 million mark of, gross income, and it was all ego. I was like, oh my God, I'm a $1 million salon owner. I was miserable, like capital M miserable, ready to walk out in front of the bus that came down the street on Fayette Street, just lay down and let the bus run me over. It was so awful. So I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? What do I do now? So 7 years into the misery, I say, you know what? I'm going to take it back to my original staff and make it small again because that's when I was happy. So I literally cut the staff in half, let half go, kept half, totally remodeled, rebranded, changed the name, everything within 7 years. That starts chugging along. Everything's great. I get bored again. I'm like, this is boring. This is not enough. So then I decide that I want to be an educator. That was 7 years ago. So I start educating part-time. I put a classroom into the upstairs of my building, start having these boot camps with other colorists. I start loving it. Now I'm absolutely miserable. And I'm like, I don't even want to be in the salon anymore. And I'm bringing everybody down. Like me walking into the building was like the black cloud because I didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to be out teaching on stages, teaching, virtually how I am now. But I didn't know how to separate myself from it. I was like, how am I just going to walk away from this successful business? This is crazy. So I'm sharing all this with you because every single itch led to a better opportunity, a better me. And then when you think you've got it all figured out, the next itch comes. And then you're like, well, what does this itch mean? How am I going to scratch this one? Because I was walking on the beach and I literally was like starting to cry. I'm like, anybody looking at me right now would be like, you have such an amazing life. You have 2 healthy kids. You live at the beach. You always wanted to live at the beach. You've always wanted to have a convertible. You have your convertible. You have your pool that you always wanted. It took you 53 years to get a pool. So all of these things, but now I have the damn itch again. And I'm like, I know it's because I'm so passionate that I need to help in a different way. So right now, my frustration is I have a $47 workshop. You've heard about it every week on here. So what happens is all of these people are buying this $47 workshop. And that makes me happy because I'm teaching hair color in a different way. So I'm like, yes, they're all getting it. They're all getting the information. And then I go into the dashboard and I see 85% of the people have never even opened it. They haven't even clicked play and watched the first video. So I'm like, okay, that makes me upset. Not because, I got my money, they paid me the money. Like, it's not because I'm losing anything, but you are, the person who bought it is. So I get on the phone with Brennan. I'm like, we need to do something to get people to open this and watch it. Like, buying something isn't changing your career. Doing the thing is going to change your career. So I reach out to Brent. I'm like, we got to do a bonus training and we got to make it live so that I can get in front of these people and really show them how passionate I am about helping them. So she says, sure, pick a date. Let's do it. So I just did it on May 20th. 345 people, something like that, have purchased this $47 training. Out of the 347, probably 47 have actually, no, not even. We did a list of who completed it. Bryn just showed their certificates in the group. I think 12 people have completed it. It's not a 24-hour thing. Like, it's literally very small, compact videos that get to the point. So I'm like, only 12 people out of 300 and some finished. So I get on the live training, which is free live training on Zoom where I can see everybody. And out of 345 people, 57 signed up, 57 signed up, 38 showed up. So the number keeps dwindling, 345, 57, 38. Out of the 38, 28 stayed on the call and actually listened to everything that I said. So why I'm so emotional is I am so passionate about getting people out of that $30,000, $40,000 a year doing hair till your feet are bloody stumps, not taking lunch, not taking dinner, not peeing, not taking care of your body because you think if you work more and you see more clients, you're going to be more successful. I am here to tell you, after almost 40 years of that nonsense, that if I had not shifted every 7 years and woke up and said, what do I need? Back in the early 90s, I need to be a better cutter, go to Vidal Sassoon. Now I'm a better cutter and I meet Beth Minardi, my mentor, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I want to follow this lady to the ends of the earth. I literally stalked her ass. We joke about it all the time because now we're friends. And I'm like, I stalked you I followed you all over the country. Like literally anywhere she showed up, I was there listening. And then my passion became color, and I let go of the Vidal Sassoon and the cutting and let someone else do that. And I gave all of my clients to an amazing, person who loves to cut, and made her successful because now she's got a built-in book with all my color clients because I made the decision no longer cutting, just doing color. So my issue right now is I want to help people more than they want to be helped, plain and simple. I have an ad. It's a post of my Instagram. You've probably seen it all over the place where I take a level 7 swatch and I say, this is what the manufacturer says 7N in, but this is not what you're going to get when you put it on hair. I am getting so much hate comments on this post, and that's fine because I've never been disruptive. I've always been so kind about me wanting to help. I'm just like, oh yeah, and someone will send me a picture and they'll be like, I did a great job. And I'm like, you really did a great job. And I'm like, that is not a good job. Like, I want to totally like pick that apart on these social media posts. So I'm like, no, this is no more Elaine, nice guy. Like, I am telling the truth. I don't care if I get the haters. I don't care if I get, all the people like it bothers me. I'm not going to lie. Like, you don't like anybody saying mean things. But no, I can't hold back anymore because this is my life's purpose. This is what I've done for 40 years. Like, you can't undo the passion of being both a teacher, a salon owner, and an educator. So I don't know what this itch is gonna. It's funny because the horse thing that I was talking about, if you're just joining me, I've been all over the place. Please watch the replay. It'll be worth it. This horse weekend is showing you through interaction with horses, which I've done it twice at other places. It's learning from horses about yourself and how you behave and what your knee-jerk reactions are and how you judge people and all the things. And you learn about other people and other relationships. And I talked to the woman on the beach, and that's when I was getting my good cry on. And I asked, when I woke up in the morning, I said, what is my next assignment? What is this itch? What needs to happen either in the beauty industry or out of the beauty industry? And all of my insiders, like Deanna just said, please don't break up with us. I am not going anywhere. I still love my inner circle. I love doing the Hair Color Secrets Insider. That's not going anywhere. This is end, not or, because that's me. I always have to have 17 jobs. So that when I spoke to the woman on the phone, I said, I asked for something to come to me for what my next assignment is and what my itch is about. And I talked to my girlfriend the other day and I said, the last time I felt pure joy, like being in the moment, pure joy, no burning shoulders, no anxiety, no stress, no nothing. I was on the back of a horse in Austin, Texas with my friend Carolyn doing an exercise through horse equine therapy. And I said, that was the most free and joyful and all the things that I was. And I don't do it often enough. I do it once, maybe every 5 years I get to do that. So I was like, I need to do this for myself. And then maybe that's where the answer is. Maybe I'll go so deep with these horses that I'll realize what the next step is. Because something that's been pecking at me, and I've talked about it, but I haven't had enough people interested, is I want to do a hairstylist retreat in Costa Rica. I've never been to Costa Rica. I can't tell you why I feel like it has to be in Costa Rica. Every time I ask my husband to go to Costa Rica, he's like, I don't really have any big desire to go there. I'm like, okay. And then I ask girlfriends and they're like, yeah, no, I don't really have any desire. I'm like, I don't know why I do. I don't know why. I think it's the horse thing. So I've looked into doing a retreat there. And every year at my live inner circle retreat, I say, does anybody think that they're ready to move this retreat somewhere else and go to Costa Rica? And everybody goes, I don't know. I don't have a passport. I don't like leaving the US. That would be big for me. I would need to be away longer. So I didn't get a good response. So that's why it hasn't happened yet. So if you are watching this and you're itching for something amazing and you think a Costa Rica retreat would be fun, then let's do it. Or maybe I'll just go by myself, which I do a lot. I'm doing a lot of traveling this year solo because I'm not waiting for anybody else to do it with me. So there's that. So I think that what's coming for me is bridging something and something, like doing the hair thing, like always working with hairdressers, but working with them in a different way. Maybe helping hairdressers come up with a plan for what's next for them. Like maybe you're having an itch and you're like, I don't even know how the hell did you move to Florida with no job and no house and no safety net? And how did you start this successful business so quickly? You make it look so easy. I can make it easy now for you because I had to go through the scrapes, bruises, and the scraped knees to do it the hard way. And now I'm like, oh my gosh. I tell my sister, I'm like, my sister's working on an online course for hairstylists. And I said, Renee, you're overcomplicating it. Just turn the damn recorder on and just start talking. And she's like, I know, but and I'm like, no, 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 no. So maybe it's that I'm supposed to help you with what your next thing is if your itch is happening. Maybe it's consulting privately one-on-one on Zoom and talking you through like, are you ready to open your own salon? Are you ready to sell your salon? Are you ready to do something totally different? Are you ready to create something virtual? So that's where I am. I love all of your feedback because you guys know me best and you know what you like about my education or me or all the other things. If there's anything that you're like, oh, I wish that she would blank, maybe there's something that is stirring that needs to happen. So I just wanted to share the whole 7-year itch thing with you because for me, nobody ever talked about it like I did. Nobody ever said that that's how they felt. Lucky for my husband, it didn't happen to me in my marriage. It happened to me in my career always because you go through these cycles. It's like little babies at home, toddlers at home, teenagers at home, adults at home. Now that's part of the emotional piece. I'm in menopause and all my kids are gone. They're out of the nest. And I'm like looking around going, oh my God, what am I gonna do with myself? My daughter's like, it's called go to the beach, read a book, take a pottery class, go to the spa. I'm like, how many times can you go to the spa? I go to the spa once a month. Like, I love that I have the time to do it, but I really feel like I have too much left to contribute to just sit on the couch and read a book. I would love to be that person. That's not who I am. I am a workaholic at heart. So that's why I'm creating this November. I wasn't going to do a November event. I'm like, you know what? I got the time. I'm going to do this November event and I'm going to take care of salon owners who've not been taken care of. I'm teaching at Premier. Premier is an amazing show and they have business classes for owners, but they don't have take salon owners to a horse retreat and talk about the emotional parts of being a leader and in the salon world. Like I feel like I'm meant to collaborate with this woman and do, equestrian hairstylist, deep retreats. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but let's find out. Now, I don't see any A's and B's, and I am way over today. I'm at 42 minutes. This is supposed to be a 30-minute chat. So where are my A's and B's on the book? I see me and Stacy, I think, is saying B because she said theory of hair in part 2. Lisa said B. Felix said B. Michael said collaboration. So it's like 50-50 between the A and the B. You people are going to make me do both, aren't you? It is much easier for me now. The first time I wrote a book, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know the how. I didn't know the setup. Kathy says A, then B. Well, it's interesting because I know that, hurting the cats of having people contribute, tracking them down for their chapters is going to be super difficult. So I actually, in theory, could be writing my own A, The Colorful Journey Part 2, while I'm waiting for them to contribute their chapters. So that absolutely could and probably will happen. So thank you for that. Now let me see. Put a C in the chat if you truly, honestly, like, don't bullshit me and say, oh my gosh, I'm totally in. And then the deposit is due and you're like, I can't go to Costa Rica. If you truly believe that you could say an absolute 100% yes and put a deposit down on a 3-day hairdresser something in Costa Rica, put a C in the chat so that I see. I'm not going to stalk you or blow up your mailbox. I just want to see if there's enough interest for me to even go down that road, because it's a big difference me traveling to a foreign place I've never been to and bringing all the stuff and shipping all the things and the hair color and the developers and all the things. It's a lot more for me to do. So I need to know that people are committed, and clearly it's going to be more expensive than my traditional Florida retreat because everybody has to travel there. It's going to have to be longer time because there's longer time to get there for people. No, the Costa Rica is not salon owners. Costa Rica is everybody. The November 10th event is absolutely, I'm going to put this here, November 10th event, Florida, is salon owners only and must have a minimum of 3 employees. It's not for suite owners. And then Costa Rica is for anyone, all hairstylists. Julie said, can you add a chapter on balance, work life, home life, etc.? I struggle with that, and a chapter on how not to complicate. Julie, you will be the picture in the overcomplicated chapter, my friend. You do find the hard way in everything. And if anybody who should be writing the chapter on balance, it's you. With how many children you have, how many grandchildren you have, you are the queen of devoting yourself to your family. My balance was off the other way. My balance was all work, no play, not enough family time, all business. I was like the horse with the blinders on, just chugging away at salon, hairdresser, teach. Don't pay attention to anything around you. Just keep being, a colorist and a educator. Mary Lewis, I've got the 46-year itch. Yep, it happens. I'm telling you, but don't ignore it, Mary. We talked about this before because I know when you went to renew, you were like, I don't know if I'm going to renew because I'm retiring, and you keep saying it, but you haven't retired. So think about the value that you have where you could go to beauty schools and just talk to the students, go once a month and talk to the students. I swear you'll get more reignited. You'll get more passionate. It's so great to be around the next class of people coming out to be in the industry. Azra, and you want everyone to come along because you're a kid. Yep, I do. And you sound like you know your way around Costa Rica, Azra. So I hope if it happens that you'll be there. It really just keeps pecking at me. It's not going away. So I think I kind of have to do it. Even if I just have 3 people come, I think I may actually do it. I was watching something on Instagram and they said everybody needs a sabbatical. I've never taken a sabbatical. I've never really taken a maternity leave. So my daughter's like, Mom, you should just relax and don't worry about being busy. And I'm like, I'm not there yet. Maybe another couple of years. But I do want to travel more this year. So Doris said, I'm interested, just need details because I'd be traveling either way. So Doris is in Canada. Natalie, I went to a retreat last October, spent over. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. That's awful. I would love to privately know who that was that disappointed you. So Booth Renters Edition, it's not that I'm throwing shade at booth renters. It's just what we're going to talk about in November. The system doesn't work for booth renters because what we're offering and what we're sharing with people is complete and total automation to get a constant steady flow of clients. And booth renter salons are not responsible for each individual person's client flow, and they don't want to invest in it because each booth renter basically has their own business, if that makes sense. So it's just that particular event would not make sense for booth renters. Number one, because you're not going to be able to invest in what you need to invest in to be able to do everything we're talking about at this event. It has to be a salon that, has several employees. Ropes course. Yeah. I mean, kind of like I'm in love with Miraval where I said I was my happiest. Miraval is great because it's therapy like things, like with the horse, and like there's yoga and all the things and ropes, things to test yourself and swinging a prayer and all of that. And it all goes together, even though it has nothing to do with hair. It all goes together because your brain is following you wherever you are, you're there. That was the biggest lesson that I learned. I used to run away from myself and my life, going on all these fabulous trips. And I would go away for, a long weekend, be like my best self when I was away, and come back to my life. And I'm like, shit, I can't run away from myself. I'm the problem. I'm trying to run away from myself and I'm the problem. It took me a long time to figure that out. And I guarantee most of you watching this are not realizing that you're the problem too. So I'm going to shut up now because now we're at 50 minutes and nobody is going to watch the replay of a 50-minute coffee chat. But thank you for being here. I would love to hear from you on Costa Rica, on the November event, and please donate anything that you can. Venmo for Bart, send it directly to him. I don't want to, have it be my responsibility to get money to him and have it be messy. Let me make sure I'm spelling this right. But anything that you can donate would be absolutely amazing and very impactful. So it's just at Bart Rosenstein on Venmo. He also, you can Zelle him, but they gave me one of these QR codes and I can't share that with you over this. So if you're having trouble donating, reach out. We'll find another way. Thank you for listening. And I want you today to sit with yourself, close your eyes and give yourself 5 minutes, some point today in quiet, and just check in with yourself and say out loud, what is my next thing? What is my next assignment? What am I meant to do? Why am I having this feeling that keeps bubbling up? Because trust me, it will not go away. It's like bad indigestion. It will not go away. I just posted it, Felix. It's just Bart's name, at Bart Rosenstein. Oh, shit, I spelled it wrong. Hold on. I spelled it wrong. So people will be sending it to the wrong person. At Bart Rosenstein. I forgot the T in there. Rosenstein. So that's it. So thank you for listening. I will see everyone next week. Have a great day.